guys, we're back. Holy shit. Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. It's the way, I can totally pick up on this. Guys, it has been a crazy week. And we are here with a very special episode of Art of the Jam. This is actually episode number 128.2. And you'll see, obviously, a week ago, you will have seen episode number 128.1, Road Report. That's a little thing I threw together. So, because I want to be consistent with my episodes, and you know what? We only had time to film, like, pretty much a quarter of an episode. So you get a little mini Road Report episode last week, and this week you get the rest of the story, which, bless you, when you die, nothing happens. But anyways, guys, before we get to the question and the intro and the Guess That Band, remember to submit your uncles and find that phantom. It's somewhere in this episode. And if you find it, like I said, you'll have a good chance you might win an Art of the Jam shirt or a koozie, even though I've never made those in my life, so you probably won't get that. But you might get, you know what, I think it's actually, I feel like it's suitable because I don't drink beer. You don't really drink beer. We don't really drink beer. And I want a koozie, I guess you can really put anything in, and other people drink beer, but you know what? I don't condone that shit, okay? I'm just kidding. I don't care if you drink alcohol or not, but I like the idea of merch that reflects, you know how in, actually this, yeah, go ahead, whatever. It's not going to do anything, but,
damn.
No,
have it.
I like the idea of, I forgot to activate the magic jam. We'll get to that. But, no, I like the idea of things that reflect our vibe, and a coffee mug seems a little more suitable for our vibe, you know. I mean, at least me, because I literally can't live without
water
fucking
bottles,
coffee.
you know, shit like, because, you know.
I mean, yeah, everybody, I guess, drinks Wawa, but like I said, if you find that phantom and you, I will pin your comment if you're the first one to get the timestamp correctly. I did absolutely realize that I stole this whole concept from Mr. Ballin, so thank you, Mr. Ballin. He's my hero. But if you get the timestamp correct and you're the first one, I'll pin your comment to the top, and you'll have a chance to win some Art of the Jam merch. Hopefully something exclusive, like a coffee mug, maybe. Maybe I'll make one coffee mug, and that'll be the thing. Or a jam jar. That'd be cool. You could put jam in it, of course. You could put weed. You could put your, I don't know, cocaine, whatever you're into. But like I said, submit your uncles, find that phantom, and I'm a little rusty. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm still coffee's still working on me. So hang on one second. Daddy. But guys, where we left off was our day off meal. I talked about how I'm in love with Ralph Nader. We both in some faucet shit ourselves, and New Iberia, Louisiana late cancellation in the middle of a band. That's where we left off, and we were on our way that day to Alabama, Mobile, Alabama.
Oh, it gets better, guys.
And that was a whole other thing, and so we will get to that toward the end of the episode. But before then, we do, in the tradition of Art of the Jam, I do, audience, have a question for you. And this one is rather simple, and it's because I'm genuinely curious, because this, like I said, probably in the last week's episode, 128.1, is I talk a lot of shit on Dallas. And Dallas was just like, and sucked us into their fucking little lungs, and we're just their little play. I don't even fucking know. We were playthings for Dallas to just Strand and Laugh At. We were the laughing stock of Dallas, to Dallas, because I feel like I talk a lot of shit on Dallas, and not necessarily the people, but the traffic and the annoying vibes of it's just a terrible vibe. Fuck you, Dallas. But anyways, scratch that. Yeah, you'll see it. It'll say "fuck you, Dallas," and then a little line through it, and maybe some scribbles, because I don't want to get stranded there again. Okay, even though I did have a good time with James the mechanic. Shout out James, you're cute. Wait, what? Scratch that. Zip. And what was it? Demuso Towing. Sorry about the rain, buddy, but my question for you is, and like I said, very simple question, but what is the worst city you've ever been through, and why? I want to know I want to know the scoop. I want to know, is it the people? Is it the traffic? Is it the fucking zombie drug addicts? Is it the boring, they ain't got nowhere to shop, ain't got nowhere to drink stuff, they don't got nowhere to fucking eat foods, no delicious stuff, nothing, no juice there, whatnot, and what have you. But I will repeat, audience, what is the worst city you've ever been through, and why? That being said, we're going to cue that intro, and you're going to guess that band. Cue that intro.
Guess that band. Guess that band. Guess.
We're back, I suppose. I do actually, I asked Nichelle about that band that the silhouette of the band that I had her decide, and she was very quick. I was like, I need a silhouette of a band that I don't, not that I don't think anybody would guess, but I think would just be fun and silly. So I hope you guys get that. But stick around for the end of the episode, and I will reveal what that silhouette of whatever that band was. And I hope you have fun trying to rack your brains trying to figure out who that is. But question was, what is the worst city you've ever been through? I feel like, even though I talk a lot of shit on Dallas, I don't think Dallas is really the worst city I've ever been through. And but in your opinion,
Chicago.
Yeah, but is that because you almost pissed yourself, or is it the trauma that makes you?
I think that I think a lot has to do with that, but like it was just no. I think it might have been the Detroit with all the stupid roads and shit.
I agree. Well, I don't agree that that's the worst city, but yeah, Detroit sucks because of the condition of the roads. Definitely the worst roads I've ever experienced. Now, this is the thing. Okay, Detroit. They have, Detroit has like, we only seen like a small portion of Detroit, and the roads were awful. So it was like a concentrated, just like somebody just took a cheese grater to the road, right? But Oklahoma, I've said this plenty of times. Literally, I feel like we at least go through Oklahoma every tour to some degree. I may be wrong, but it just seems like we're always going through Oklahoma on tour, whether we're playing there or not. But Oklahoma, it's like the whole state sucks. And they have no excuse because they have so many avenues of revenue. They got casinos, they got pot. It's like, what are you doing with all that money, dude?
Pot alone, dude.
Yeah. It's like, what was it, like Colorado made like all school lunch free or some shit because they had so much money. They're like, we don't need to even charge for fucking kid food now. But
Just dope.
I also may be wrong, so I don't know what I'm pointing at, but you'll see it later. Anyway, guys, yeah, the worst city you've ever been through. I feel like Detroit, yeah, the roads were terrible, but like the people weren't bad.
No.
It's kind of funny because in Detroit, it seemed like if you stood up to people, like it was fine. Like almost like if you have Boston, if you like bust their balls back at them, like you show them you're not a bitch. You know what I mean? And I felt that way in Detroit because there was that guy who was like, I forgot what exactly he said, but he's like, what the fuck are you wearing or some shit? Because I was wearing like it was like an Aztec poncho.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he was basically like, what are you, some sort of native? And I was like, no, I'm actually not native at all. And he's like, have you ever heard of cultural appropriation? And I was like, I'll wear whatever the fuck I want. And he was like, oh, you will? And I was like, yeah, buddy, why don't you go fuck yourself? And then he was like, man, you all right. And I was like, and he wasn't even black. I don't know why I used that voice. But he was like, man, you all right. That was also kind of black. That was like a little Chris Tucker-y black. But anyways, Chicago was scary. It was like steamy, like Gotham City steamy.
Oh, yeah, because it was raining.
Well, no, it was just like the fucking steam coming out of the fucking sewers and shit. Like, I don't know if that's why. You know what I mean? It's like big cities. There's always like steam coming out of the ground somewhere. I don't know. It's just my fucking.
It's a geyser.
I mean, a geyser is water, but I mean, I guess they produce steam as well. But there was just like steam and shit, and it just had that like fucking Gotham City vibe and everything. And apparently, that's what Gotham City is based off of, is Chicago, not New York. Most of the people think. That. Yeah. I don't know that for sure, but it makes more sense to me in my head. But the worst city, what do you think, like the worst? Because we've covered roads. Roads suck, and traffic sucks. But like, what about where do you think the worst people?
Where were you when we got yelled at?
Oh, that was like right over the Georgia-Florida line, I think. Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, I was at a gas station. I would get to this at the end, but I don't know exactly where it fit in the story chronologically, so I'll just go ahead while I'm thinking of it. But yeah, dude, we were at a gas station, and albeit it was very busy, and but the thing is,
you just turned the vehicle on.
Let's go from the beginning here. But I got some gas at a Love's. Never have I ever had a terrible experience at a Love's. Some smell better than others. Most of them smell like watermelon gushers, which is especially the bathroom, that's beside the point. But anyways, but I got gas, and then I get in the van, and I was literally in the van. I always get a receipt so I can claim shit later or do the math later, so I don't have to do math on the road. I can just do it all when I get home. But I got my receipt, and I usually take my receipt out, and I put it into an envelope as soon as I get in the van. I literally get in the van, pull my receipt out, and then I hear this, "Hey!" And I'm like, "What?" I didn't say it like that. I actually was just like, "Yes, sir." What? I don't know what I said, but it was non-provoking. It was just like, "Oh, there's a guy." I don't know. I don't know what he was gonna. I got asked for money a couple of times at a couple of gas stations, so I was just kind of like thinking it was something like that. But this guy was like, "Are you done?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "We're all trying to get some fucking fuel here." I'm like, it's called gas, for one. But no. Yeah, so this guy just like yelled at me for being in the van for like 2 seconds. And I was just like, all right, so that guy can go beat his wife and, Probably touches kids or something he does, because that's what he does. If somebody acts like that in public to another person for no fucking reason, that's probably what you are guilty of, is being a fuckboy. But that's beside the point. I think Space Camp was a little more upset than I was. I didn't give a fucking shit about this guy.
I just, my whole thing about it, like, we're all trying to get somewhere. It's like, hold your horses. You're already halfway through your life. You should already know this by now.
Yeah, but also that nobody loved that guy.
Oh, he had a big ass truck and a trailer. It was like,
this is my thing about people like that, though. Is yes, they are shitty people, and you know, I grow up always hearing like the kill them with kindness, whatever. That is okay. It's very difficult. Yes, I will say it is very difficult, and it's, how do I say, it's hard to show any sort of restraint whenever people do treat you like that. I get that. It's very hard not to get mad when people say stupid shit to you in public, but it's like, I'm obviously in spite saying nobody loved this guy, he's going to go home and beat his wife, blah, 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 blah. I say that shit because I'm being mouthy. I'm being a loon, okay? But I greatly believe that killing them with kindness is the better option, because what are the odds that somebody doesn't love that guy? It might not be his fault that he's that way. I mean, obviously it's his fault, he's being a fucking asshole, but I'm saying, like, what events led up through his life in order to make him act that way to another person in public that he has no idea who he is? So it's like, if he's calling me, I'm just trying to get some fucking fuel, and I'm just like, I love you, have a beautiful day. It's like that guy could probably later on, he'd be like, man, I was a fucking dick. And it's like, maybe that's not going to happen. But still, vibes are infection. Vibes are contagious. It's like, he's trying to infect me with his poison, and it's like, I'm not going to fucking let you. Like, that's what I'm saying, and no offense to you, but for you to get angry about something like that, that's giving him satisfaction of poisoning your ass with with a disease, with his bad vibes. You're letting that penetrate your body, and that's like, fuck you, dude. I don't need that shit in my life. I want to go on to the next town and just be weird on stage and do some shit and tell people about this fucking thing that happened. And we'll all laugh at you. And that's somehow better to laugh at this guy. Even though, anyways, that's what happened at the Florida-Georgia line. And at a Love's. I don't even know exactly where that went, where that actually happened, but yeah, I don't even know where I was in this whole fucking.
We're talking about worst
thing.
Place.
Yeah. That's
why I brought that up.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing is like, now, does that one guy define that entire area?
No, but it was like it's same topic. At least in my head. What's
a place that we've gone or you've gone that you're like, I think everybody here is shitty, or like it's just more often than not there's terrible people there.
I haven't really found a place that's like not like everybody's just complete asshole.
Right.
You have people that are assholes, and then you have people that are not assholes, so it's just kind of half and half sometimes,
This is yeah. I will say that my Beaumont story, I mean, that was terrifying. I've probably told that on the show before, and I've probably told other people, but I think Beaumont, Texas is a shitty place because of the people. I think, where was that we went? Oh, shit. I think it was Detroit. Actually, I think it was Detroit. Where it was like nobody was like, we went to a Walmart in Detroit. I think it was Detroit. And it just seemed like the traffic reflected this, like it translated the same way to the cart traffic in the Walmart. So it was like nobody was like looking at each other. Nobody was like personifying each other. It was just kind of like, you're a thing that's in my way. And it was just like everybody was just pulling out their carts in front of each other. And it was just like, man, I hate everything about this right now. I'm just trying to get some fucking chickpeas and lentils and a fucking maybe a carton of eggs or some shit. And you're just like acting like I'm not even there. And it's difficult. And especially whenever you come from a place where like, and I use this very loosely, but here in Missouri, it's like we do have our assholes, but relatively, when you're at a Walmart, like if you're like coming a certain way, people stop and let you go, or they, or like, oh, sorry, excuse me, and like, oh, I'm just trying to get by, it's just like, we don't talk like that here, but
Don't you know?
But it's like that. But in a place like that, it's like this in Detroit. It's like it's huge culture shock. Just like what fucking 8 hours north or however far it is. It's just fucking wild to me. And I think I'm not. But see, that's the crazy thing. I don't think that's a broad generalization to be able to like be like, oh, this one Walmart I went to defines my entire opinion of this place. Even though, like I said, it was like when we were at the venue, there was people that were like, you bust their balls right back, and they're like, man, you all right. And I'm just like, I'm fucking hell yeah, dude, you're cool. It's just it's an aggressive place, I feel like, but it's still cool, But I mean, other than what else is there? There's roads, traffic, people. Shit, dude. I don't know what else there would be to like.
We haven't really ran into any kerfuffles at a venue quite yet.
Like fights.
Yeah, or anything like that. Not like with like us or like just witnessing it.
No, I don't think so. I mean, just like
nothing too crazy.
Your routine police standoff and things like that, but
nothing will beat that one time where we drove off and that dude was all them cops are just pointing.
Yeah, we've literally mentioned that on like every fucking episode. So, but yeah, that was fucking crazy. What? Damn, dude. I just think that the
Beaumont more shit, guys. This shit's boring. Just kidding.
No. Beaumont was just scary because I thought that I was genuinely like viewed as gay and they were gonna beat my ass, and that was like really strange. And without words, even it was like just the looks I got. I was like, "Fuck, dude, I'm in the wrong place." That's why this going like where we went this time. It was like going into the last tour we did was the Deep South, and it was not. This was the Deep South. Like going to like, it's just crazy to hear how like how people like I guess we didn't really talk to that many people, but like some people I heard talking like overheard in like gas stations or here or there. It was like, whoa. There was like, yeah, you should go about and hit that big guy and then you wouldn't do when you'd have it. And I'm like, what the fuck did that guy say? I was like, whoa, holy shit. I just totally clipped the mic, but we're good. I'll fix it. I'll fix it in post. Yeah, and
what did you just say to me?
Yeah, and Sideshow O'Malley was getting all sorts of looks, but he made a lot of friends. He made more friends than we did, I think.
Oh boy,
he's a popular motherfucker, and that's just the way that it rolls. Sometimes we I don't know how I feel about you, Sideshow. I don't know if I like you overshadowing our popularity. That's not a thing that I enjoy. But you know what? You stick with us, and we're cool. We're cool. But don't get a big head and start thinking like you can go off and be solo, start producing your own podcast or something like that, or whatever, and what have you. But I think this is a good point to. Before we get into this next segment, I just want to go ahead and say that this episode, number 128.2, is brought to you by Phantom Sam's Word of the Week. Contrarian. Yeah, I was actually going to do that because what's crazy about this word is, Nichelle said it to me. Actually, this is what's weird. I first heard it at a show, and I think I mentioned it in the last episode, but contrarian was an interesting word because I've obviously heard the word on the contrary, which is contrary, probably the root word. I didn't fucking do the Merriam-Webster this time. Get out of here. Because I was like, I think I understand this well enough. I think I can I think I can break this down. But contrarian, I heard it once for the first time at our show in Pittsburgh, used in a sentence. And the sentence was actually, I don't need to come up with a sentence because the guy used it in a sentence and it made perfect sense. It was about being a Raiders fan. And he was saying that anybody who is a Raiders fan is a contrarian, which actually there's no context clues in that sentence. But it's basically you are a Raiders fan in spite of others, meaning you only root for the Raiders to be against everybody else, to be a contrarian, to in spite of, is basically what it means. Contrarian, though, it's a good word. I enjoy that word, and it was. But this is the crazy thing, and I've mentioned this several times. But it's one of those words that I heard, and I had never heard it before, and then I just heard it all week, and I was like, okay, so that I have to use it. This is definitely Phantom Sam's Word of the Week, brought to you by the letter H. This is what this is, and so yeah. I think that's a good word of the week, brought to you by Phantom Sam's Word of the Week, contrarian. I think we should do another segment here, and I think we should do a well-deserved. Behold those looky holes. So, Space Camp, if you would care to assume the position, and we are going to do this segment, hat, glasses, remove it all, shirt, pants, everything but your shoes, socks, and necklace. But you're going to cover your eyes, and on the count of 3, you're going to stand real still, too, because the editing is the magic, not the editing. It's not editing, it's magic. It's magic. This fucking, yeah, you get the point. You get the picture. Stand real still. And on the count of 3, I'm going to say, behold those looky holes, and you are going to reveal your eyes to the camera until I tell you to wrap it up. So, 3, 2, 1. Behold those looky holes. All right. That was the segment of the show I like to call Behold Those Looky Holes. This is the segment of the show, for you guys who don't know, where I literally tore Space Camp's eyeballs out of his head and surgically, and I said this last time, but it's so true, with surgical precision, I replaced his eyeballs with someone else's eyeballs, a celebrity of some sort, and you are going to guess whose looky holes those are, or whose little eyeballs are in the looky holes. So, that being said, that was Behold Those Looky Holes. I'm still we've been on the road for 10 days. I'm still whoa, I feel like a worm in my own flesh. I'm just what am I doing on this show anymore? I'm just Like, like there's just like that was me. That was like worms coming out of my eyes. That's what's happening right now. I'm just a corpse of myself. I literally, the last day on the way home, I didn't say a word the entire day because my body couldn't muster anything out of it. There was no way. I was lucky I could push piss out my dick, dude. It was why. Like, I literally was so fucked. I came home, I ate a massive meal. All I did was joke about smoking weed the whole time. Actively, I was like, "Hey, Nichelle, I had her bowl and weed." And I was just like, "I'm gonna do this." And she's like, "You?" She actually said this. She was a contrarian. Actually, I don't think that works. I tried to make the word of the week work, and this word of the week work. But I was like talking about how I was like, I'm gonna do it. And she was like, "You actually probably need it." In reality, there is no way that my mind could have handled that. Having not smoked weed in like 3 years and being so raw, ooh baby, I like it raw.
You'd be gone.
I would have. No, I think I wouldn't have even experienced the effects of marijuana. I think I literally would have hit it and just go, and just went to sleep. Because I did that anyway. I ate a huge meal because I was like, there's no way. Dude, oh my God, the meal I had. Oh my God. Some context here. For 10 days, I ate nothing but fucking salmon pouches, like the chicken of the sea salmon pouches, lentils, corn, and canned chickpeas, lentils, and corn. And except for the one meal on our day off that we had that I mentioned in the last episode. But I had just a pound of turkey. I don't know if it was a pound of turkey, but it was an amount of ground turkey with steamed broccoli, scrambled eggs with onions, and an avocado, and a banana pancake that I made myself. And it was like, I'm just like dreaming of it again. Like you'll see, it's right there. It's right. But dude, I ate it and I was literally like, I literally was like, I could not be alive right now and I wouldn't know. Like, it was that difficult for me to like grasp life when I first got home. I was literally like, it was like every bite I was just like, oh, look, I'm about to bust. Like, I was just like, I don't even know how to explain it, dude. It was just so fucking like, I was aroused by this food. But aside from that, I ate the food and I literally slept for 12 hours straight. And I was like, that wasn't enough. And then I woke up. Nichelle worked a half day at work, so because we were going to spend the day together. But she went and worked a half day. She came back. We made more food, almost the same thing, because I was like, I want that again. I ate it. I fell asleep again for a long period of time. And now I'm here. But yeah, that's beside the point. But guys, we're going to take a short break here, and then when we get back, from the break, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what's going to be in this break, whether it's going to be a jam or it's going to be a list of something obscure. I don't fucking know. It might just be a little cartoon of something that I made, maybe Giles and Bobo. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe. Or it's just going to be a video, a little music video of Sideshow O'Malley dancing to his favorite tune, even though it's copyright and I can't use it. But maybe I'll make a little jolly tune and Sideshow O'Malley will be dancing to it, or we'll get some Giles and Bobo. I don't know what that is. I'll explain what Giles and Bobo is after the short break. So that being said, guys, see you in a second.
Guys and Bobo, Turkey's Law. Hey, Bobo, why do you keep wiping your boogers on the couch?
Well, because, guys, that's where your boogers go.
Why can't you wipe them on the bottom of your sock like a normal human being?
Well, because, guys, nobody does that.
Oh.
And we're back, guys. And lucky for you, you got both of them. You got a little bit of Giles and Bobo, and you got a video, a segue video, bookending that fucking cartoon little short segment with a video of Sideshow O'Malley doing a little dance to the mouth trumpet stylings of yours truly. Thank you, guys. And we are back to Art of the Jam, number 128.2, with our tour recap episode. And what sucks is I have to do all of those things that I just said that I did. Fuck.
Meaning?
So, meaning 7 a.m., staying up till 7 a.m. editing for a week straight. That's how that works. But guys, we are back, and we are getting now into our recap of our tour, which shouldn't take a too terribly long time. We only, in the last episode, we only covered like 3 shows, but we have quite a bit to, I will say. But before we get into that, I do have a segment that I like to call Hot Takes. Scalding hot takes. Fucking bacon hot fucking scalding hot takes. And the hot take for you today is racism doesn't exist. Only preference. How's that for a hot take? Do you want to, shall I elaborate?
Well, I understand. I totally get that.
Okay. Racism doesn't exist, only preference. Like, I prefer my own race. I don't. I'm saying those who are racist. So I'm going to put this in writing so you guys know exactly what's going on and you can't take this out of context. But those who are racist, not me, those who are racist, Space Camp.
I know what.
Hashtag cancel Space Camp.
Whatever, dude.
But anyways, guys, those who are racist, back up on the top, prefer their own race. They prefer people who, I'm going to dig myself into a huge hole, actually. Man, maybe I shouldn't. They prefer people who stay in their own country. I will say, you know what? Cut to a disclaimer. Okay, you get it now. Maybe I'll put that at the beginning. This is all just jokes, folks. We're all having a good time. Maybe it's really distasteful, but I was talking to Nichelle on the phone.
You make a good point, though.
I mean, it's not a good point. It's definitely racism exists. It's fucked up, but it also is. It's technically preference. Yeah,
I could definitely I could see that. And it's fucked up that people even think that that's preference.
I prefer biological men. I prefer it could go anyway. And honestly, it's not just racism.
We all bleed the same, so why does it matter?
I mean, I don't bleed blood, but that's beside the point.
You want jam? You bleed jam?
No, actually Skittles, but that's beside the point. We don't need to get into that. But no, I was on the phone with Nichelle the other day while we were on the road, and I was joking around, and I was like, and I said, there is no racism. There's only preference. Like, I prefer people that use a belt to hold their pants up. I prefer people that talk clearly and concise, people that talk proper. I enjoy that. That was what brought it up. It had nothing to do with racism at all. It had to do with people that don't, I can't stand it whenever I can't physically understand somebody. It's different when people are like talking to me and their point isn't being made. That's different because then I'm like, okay, so let's explore this. Let's figure out what you mean by that. But when people are like, such as the fucking people in like the South, yikes! This is not. Oh my God! cut to the disclaimer. All right, we're back. But like people that are literally like, oh, so go, and they're no, b, and I'm like, cool, good one, fun. And he's just like trying to like express that his grandmother died recently and that he's like super sad about it and that if anybody were to laugh, he would kill himself. And I'm just like, I didn't get any of that because I didn't understand any of that. So it makes me feel bad when I can't understand somebody. So that was what that came from. But then it just turned into it spiraled into a thing about racism, but it was also Nichelle was like spouting off about fucking like Netanyahu and shit like that, fucking Israel and Iran shit and like just like ICE stuff. And I was just like, man, I have to make some sort of terrible, distasteful joke about this because I can't handle having a serious.
For it.
I can't. Yeah, you come to me with something serious. Sorry, goodbye. I just can't. I can't do it unless. It's not that I can't do it. It's just like when somebody brings something serious to the table, I'm like, the only way, like, I understand that this is a big problem. The only way for me to deal with this problem in a healthy manner is to joke about it. I have to make it funny or else it's sad and terrible and painful and all I want to do is just crawl in a hole and just suffocate myself sexually. I mean, God damn it. What is this?
Killing yourself or jerking off.
Autoerotic asphyxiation. This is the word of the week. Actually, no, it's contrarian. That might be the next week. Next week's word of the week. Autoerotic asphyxiation. Anyways, guys, we shall, before I dig myself in too much of a hole, I think that I've lost 90% of the audience with that hot take, even though that's like 5 people. So anyways, thanks, guys, and I'll be canceled for this in 10 years. It'll be all right. So I don't have a crystal ball, but this is just, I was going to do something crazy, but maybe just make like a poof of smoke come out of here, and it'll be like, you know, I'll be like, oh, 10-year prediction, canceled, Taylor's canceled. I don't fucking know, or just like a red fucking circle with the line through it, and then the band logo right here. Do it right. Yeah, it's there. You've seen it. We all seen it. It's there. I don't know. I'm just freeballing it now. I'm trying to give myself more shit to do so that I can just hate myself more because of anyways, guys. Wow! Ooh, I clipped it from so far away. Anyways, guys, after where we left off was our day off meal. And I was talking about how I made sweet potato rice noodle with broccoli and onions, and I made it in a coffee pot, which was worked out fairly well, and it was delicious, and I had a good time with making it in the complete darkness because the gazebo that we were under at the rest area lied to us, apparently, like physically lied to us. It was like there was a bar of lights above it, and then it was just like teasing us. It was like it was one of those, you know, like you have the light switch on and then it gets dark and then the fucking lights come on and they're like bing, and it's like they're supposed to be on at night because it's dark, and then but it got dark and then it was like they like half worked. It was like a little bit of a light, and that wasn't enough to cook on, so still we had to use our phones. But yeah, fuck you, gazebo at the rest area. I hate you, and you can. I hope your light goes out completely. Anyways, that's not true. I hope that you find the light. not go to it and die. That's not what I mean. I hope you
Don't
find.
go towards the light.
I hope that you find all the light. I hope those maintenance workers replace your big old long light bulbs, and you fucking just shed light on visitors and road goers for the remainder of your life, because you are beautiful, and you've always been good to us as rest areas. Rest in peace. I don't know what that means. Anyways, but so we left off at our day off, and so after our day off, our next scheduled show was at the Alabama Music Box in Mobile, Alabama. And so, as usual on the last episode, right after we recorded that, we left and we headed to Mobile. We get to Mobile, and it's a sick fucking venue. It's a real cool venue. I actually took a couple pictures. I'll put a couple pictures up of some of the stuff that they had in there. Like, they had like a big Egyptian thing, and it was kind of cool. And then they had like, I don't think I took a picture of it, but they had the door handle to the bathroom stall was a hand. I was like, talk to me. I feel like I'm just gonna like hold the hand, and then I'm just gonna like see my dead loved one across from me, and they're gonna be like, wow, and then I'm gonna get addicted to the whole experience, like that one movie, Talk to Me, is what I'm referencing. The movie Talk to Me. Shall I repeat it one more time? Talk to Me. But it's cool shit. Stage was cool. It had some like weird little buggers on the back of the stage. It was kind of cool. It was just neat. It was a neat little thing, and so I'm sitting there just reveling in how beautiful and cool and righteous this fucking venue is. And the bartender, he brings me his phone, who I have to give a big shout out to Matt and Ellie, the manager and bartender of the Alabama Music Box. He hands me the phone, and I start talking to her, and it's the manager, and she informs me that somehow our show got erased from their calendar. So not only did we break down and miss a show, almost make it to a show and then it get canceled, day off, and then we get to this place and our show got canceled, deleted off of their calendar. Not fun. Not cool. Because I'm in this fucking, I'm here to work. I'm here to do a job. And that's all I want to fucking do. It's very discouraging. And nothing against them. I had a long conversation with Matt, vibed with this motherfucker, messaged me on Instagram. He apologized and everything like that. And I do have to say, he also introduced me to. I never thought I would be into like weird, like late '70s, early '80s punk music, but and it doesn't even like really sound that fucking. That punky, but apparently it is a punk band, and it was like but the Stranglers, I'll put it up here. The song specifically, Genetics, was a solid song. I've been like kind of obsessed with that song for the past since he showed it to me, or since it played in the bar, and then I was like, what is the song? And he was like, it's this song, and I was like, oh wow, I think I'm a fan of this band now. But it was fun. And he was a cool guy, and he was basically like, hey, well, he told me about his band Dragnet, which I actually went and listened to Dragnet. Super cool shit. So Alabama Music Box. The only thing about the Alabama Music Box, and I gotta do the compliment sandwich, more so like the good news, bad news, the black and the white type of vibe here, but. It's technically, I said that our thing got canceled, and so it's almost like a negative sandwich or a bad news sandwich. The good is in the middle, which that's almost like a fucking Oreo to me. The only good part of an Oreo is the cream-filled center. Hot take, but scalding. But we get to our last show. And then I'll get to that. But our last show we had, the band actually was like, I was talking to them about this whole story, and they were like, was it the Alabama Music Box? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, sketchy place. And I was like, ruh-roh. It's just kind of crazy that they like knew exactly where this place. He's like, that happens a lot. And I was like, that's kind of weird that they just like delete stuff off their calendar often. But I don't think it had anything to do with Matt or Ellie. I think he was saying like it's also sketchy because the Alabama Music Box is like constantly changing owners. Like it's just like it'll go under and somebody will buy it and then it'll go under. Like it's just like an up and down little roller coaster of a venue. But still fucking dope nonetheless. And Matt and Ellie were very kind. Very kind, huge, but I just realized I did that with my hands. But I'm not going to go there. I was going to make another joke about that, but second guessing, count it. But after that, we took a little stroll, caught some free barbecue smells. You remember that? Mm-hmm. Walked around the block. There were some crackheads fighting with some bikers. That's always fun. I love a good crackhead biker fight versus fight. And the crackhead uses an animality, turns into a fucking like rat creature or something, and then the fucking biker's just like with his lead pipe, and then he fucking and then he uses a fatality. But considering the crackhead is man, I don't want to be rude, but they're unkillable. Only for that concept, I will call them the cockroach of people. Okay,
Yeah, they are.
But I don't want that to reflect their character, because I don't want to say cockroaches in a bad way. It's just the fact that a cockroach can survive a nuclear apocalypse. Crackheads are cockroaches. That's what I mean by that. So, guys, cue the disclaimer. All right. So we get it. But after that, we head to St. Pete's, Pinellas Island, to the attic at D-Berg Productions. And we play with a band, we play with D-Berg and Hollowed Hive, which Bryce, but Hollowed Hive is the name of his act. Well, I guess technically a band. I don't want to say act. It is an act, I guess, but it was just him and Miho, the drummer. Which Miho, dude, come on. That guy was super fucking nice. And we got to meet fucking Serge Tankian, Frank Zappa, Frank Tankian. Remember that?
I laughed so hard when he said that.
Yeah, dude. I have a picture.
Out of nowhere.
I drew a picture of it. And honestly, I'll put whenever we get the video, I can't really. What do I put up here? I can't really put up a link because it'll be. Just go to phantomsam.com. Eventually, you'll see it. I'll put it in the comments or whatnot. But yeah. So he recorded our whole performance because it was like an attic space. It was a studio, but it was built to record like live sets. And it's crazy because when you see the video, it looks on camera like a crazy venue, but it's literally in a attic of a house, which is. Well, I want to say like not technically an attic, just the upstairs of a like studio apartment type of thing. But it was really cool, and it was very professional, and they really dug it. And so shout out to everybody that came and seen us there. I had people message me the next day that were like, "I had to bounce, but that was fucking dope," and shit like that. I'm like, thank you. I don't believe you, but thank you. Yeah, D-Berg, Hollowed Hive, and Miho was the drummer of both bands. D-Berg was like, he did a couple covers, but he was more so just like, I don't even know what you would call it other than like just rock music. It's just dude singing with two guitars, a bass player, and drums. There wasn't really like any like obscure subgenre attached to it, I feel like. But he did mention that he also did gospel rap, and that sounds kind of interesting to hear. I'm not a big religious goer, or I like a little bit of hip hop, but I think that's kind of interesting. I mean, I know of its existence, but I actually don't think I've ever actually heard clean, wholesome rap music before. That's kind of interesting. But so yeah, and then he was very kind to let us sleep there, which was the fucking, I mentioned this to somebody, but since it was a studio, everything was soundproofed, and it was like, there was only one window, and it was a skylight, and it was like, it was so strange because that one light, just the light that's the light in the morning shining through, I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, I couldn't, when I first woke up, I was like, I couldn't comprehend that was light from the outside. I don't know how to explain it. I was like, man, that's a really bright, like, fluorescent ceiling light. But then I was like, oh, that's the outside. I see it. You know, it was weird. But also going to sleep was strange because, like I was saying before, the soundproofing of the room was so soundproofed that I was like uncomfortable. Like I got decent sleep, but it was like going to sleep was so difficult because this whole time I'm used to hearing like the hum of the engine of the van. The constant outside noises. You're seeing live music. There's always sound happening around you constantly, and you don't realize how much sound you're hearing until you hear no fucking sound at all, and then you're like, whoa, what's that sound? I hear something, and it's like, no, that's the blood flowing through my fucking body. Those are the Skittles coming, just pushing through my veins, and it's painful. It was very, very hard to go to sleep whenever all I could think about is like the shit in my body moving around. I could just hear my goo going around, my goo gaggling in there. I don't even know what the fuck was going on, but yeah, he let us stay in his thing, and so we got a pretty good night's sleep outside of the van, which was interesting. It was good to stretch them leggies. But after that, we drove on to Jacksonville, Florida, to the historic oldest skate park in America, built in 1972, but was privatized until 1977 and then was open to the public. So 1977, oldest skate park, Kona Skate Park. And I thought this was kind of an interesting fact. We'll go with the factoids first. Let's see, factoids. Tony Hawk, Pro Skater 4. Kona Skate Park was in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. I could feel my body was just pixels. I was just like, oh my god, dude, I'm gonna do a fucking moonwalk, kickflip, tray flip off of this fucking half pipe pool, and then I'm literally gonna just go like right, left, right, square, circle, X, up, down, left, right, square, and I'm gonna get anti-gravity. I'm gonna be able to float into the sky and do like 20 kickflips in a row, a McTwist, and a backflip tray flip. Shh, top that shit. Anyways, but we played with Mr. Never and the Scars. Shall we explain him? I don't really want to be honest. Very nice guy. Very nice guy.
Great guy.
Yeah, we'll start there. Let's say he's literally, if Guar was one guy and was just forcefully telling the audience that he's going to have sex with all of them.
Okay. I want to see if you noticed this one. So we talked to him before he got all dressed up and whatnot, right? Did his voice change?
No.
No, it just felt like the way he talked like completely changed.
I mean, costume will do it for
Yeah,
you.
I was like, wait, dude, is this the same person? Like,
No, I mean, it is. It's like your dad never wore glasses. Growing up, when my dad would wear glasses.
oh, he does wear glasses.
Your dad?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Well, growing up, my dad always wore glasses, and I knew when my dad wasn't wearing glasses, there's fucking hell to pay for some reason. Like, whenever I was as a child, it was like if my dad wasn't, like, I associated his, like, wrath and anger with him not wearing glasses because he was always worked nights, and so if you ever got in trouble and he wasn't wearing glasses, it was because you woke him up in the middle of the day because he would sleep during the day, and so he was just like, "Ugh." But it's, I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, it's like that. I feel like it's like you put on some clothes, you put on an outfit. It might change you a little bit. I feel like people don't realize that what you wear, how you look on the outside, reflects your insides. If you feel good about yourself on the outside, you usually feel good about yourself on the inside, or vice versa. It just depends. But this guy was fucking wild. The only thing
I'm gonna have sex with all of you.
Yeah, and then I made a joke while I was on stage about how consent is a big thing, and he was like, "Well, I'm consenting to having sex with all of you," and I'm like, "That's not how that works, buddy." But I do enjoy a good dark joke, and I really hope that he's joking. But fun guy. I forgot his name was Dana, but. Yeah, Mr. Never and the Scars. He had like 2 different outfits. It was like a bucket hat with peacock feathers on it, and then a fur coat with peacock feathers on it, and then he was just like wearing pretty much like Viking bondage underneath it, and then he changed into like
gladiator,
like Gwar armor, which was kind of interesting. The only thing is it was very. And I'm sorry, but I have to be honest about these things. I'm not just going to blow smoke up people's ass or say anything, but it was incredibly unprofessional. And I say unprofessional because of the technology that he brought. He was not prepared, and he literally did 3 songs in 15 minutes when he was supposed to do 45. And that was the only thing that bothered me about it. But he still nonetheless did good and was a nice guy. And I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at anybody, but you got to be truthful about these things. I just hope that he does better in the future and keeps with it, because starting out you're always shit no matter what you do in life. You're unprofessional and shitty when you first start out. Like, that's just how it goes. You can't be good without being shit. Or you can't be professional without being unprofessional. So I just hope that he learns from it and he moves forward and updates the computer before he comes to the show. That sounds like a fucking great idea, dude. Love you nonetheless, man, and I really do. I hope that I catch you again in the future and see you prospering. But after that, they Pitch a Fit played, and Pitch a Fit was they did random like pop songs throughout history, but in punk style. Like they did a punk version of "Take a Look at Me Now," that fucking Phil Collins song.
Oh, and then that Carpenters.
Yeah, they did like the Carpenters.
Which that was kind of cool.
Yeah, and then they made me feel bad about his nationality or ethnicity, because I thought that he was Hawaiian, and I was making a joke. I didn't make a joke, but I genuinely thought that he was Hawaiian because of this like wah part he was doing, where it was like ticket, 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 which is like, I made it sound kind of reggae, but it was more so akin to like the strumming style of a Hawaiian, like a traditional ukulele strumming pattern. And he was like, yeah, he's Hawaiian. And then I was like, oh, that makes sense. And then he was like, actually, no, he's just super Asian. I knew that. I know the difference. I know the difference between Hawaiians and Asians, but yeah, so I felt really bad. But they also baited me into that because
they were at least they were laughing about it.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was. Yeah, they know what they did, but it's also he did straight up look Hawaiian. Like I'm not gonna fucking, like I said, I ain't gonna lie about shit. He looked Hawaiian, and it made sense. Like the way he was playing, I was like, this guy's fucking Hawaiian. He's not at all. But that being said, cue the intro. No, I'm just kidding. Starts again. But no, after that, we had a little bit of a scare with the money situation, but I'm not going to get into that. Bam Margera skated there recently. I thought that was cool. I'm going to just say a name, but I'm pretty sure it was like Matt or Jonathan, the sound guy at Kona. I don't remember his name. I tried so hard to think of his name, but you know who you are, and if you're ever watching this, big shout out to you, and I appreciate you. But after Jacksonville, we went to Warner Robins, Georgia, which I believe in between these two shows are where we witnessed or experienced the the fuck you, we're trying to get fuel guy. And but who knows? We don't know. But on the way to Warner Robins, we get there we get to Warner Robins, Georgia, and it was a pretty happening spot. I think that was a pretty good show, actually. But we played with Fishing too.
Okay.
And so huge shout out to Connor, Zach, and Jacob. I tried my damnedest to remember everybody's fucking name this fucking tour, and I did good up until just with that sound guy on the last. Honestly, and the two owners of the Reverb Room, I do not remember their names, but I don't think we spent too much time on that. It's like it's kind of weird because I remember the names of the people that, like, when I was talking to them and I was actually because I did that the whole fucking tour. I was like explaining to people, and like I'm trying to make connections so that I remember everybody's name. And it was almost like that conversation with everybody helped it instill it more. And that was two people that I don't think that I actually had that conversation with. So I'm like, I feel like now every time I meet somebody, I need to explain to them that I'm trying to make a connection, because then I'll make a connection. It's annoying to have to repeat myself, but it seems to work. So I'm not really too mad about it. But Fishing 2, they were kind of wild. Their bass player got stranded on the side of the highway, so they did a 3-piece set with the guitar player. The rhythm guitar player learned the lead guitar player's parts, and the lead guitar player learned the bass guitar player's parts, and then the drummer, he obviously did his own parts. But they were very like Rushy, like as in the band Rush, very progressive and intricate. And I told them 1,000 times, it's like if they wouldn't have mentioned that their bass player was stranded on the side of the highway and that they didn't have their bass player, nobody would have known.
No. They
were fucking sick. And it was funny because after the show, the lead guitar player who was playing bass, he was like, the only thing I feel like I missed out on some solos. And it's like, no, you didn't. You shredded that fucking bass the whole time. There was literally, I can remember two instances where you were literally like, I would consider that a solo on the bass. It was just like, you guys fucking killed. Like, I was extremely enthralled by them. They were really fucking cool. And then we've also played with oh shit, are we fading out of existence again? Oh, shoo. Anyways, we played also with Backseat Hooligans, which there was a bunch of them, so it was very hard to remember their names, but I know two of them had the same name. Mike was the drummer, and then the lead singer... Oh, wait, there was only 3 of them, wasn't there? Wait, no, there was a bass player and 2 guitar players. Mm-hmm. I don't think I ever met the other guitar player, actually. I think he got there later after we actually had our introduction with them, and I don't think I ever met him. But the bass player, I want to say his name was like Cody or something. I might be wrong, but there was 2 guys. You remember, because there was 2 guys that were named the same thing. It was like John or Josh or Nick. They were Nicks. Both of them were Nicks. Nicks. Yes, I got it. Yes, Nick. 2 Nicks, a Mike, and I don't know. I never met that guy, but he did really good. They did great, but they did like 90s. They were a cover band. They did like 90s songs. Like they did like Seven Nation Army, which is technically a 2000 song, but it doesn't matter. They were just a cover band, but Seven Nation Army. They did some Green Day. I can't even. Well, there was one band that they did that you liked. I can't.
Highly Suspect.
Yeah, just stuff along those lines, but. Everybody had a good time. I mean, Sideshow O'Malley, he had a good time. He made 2 friends. I had people come up to me after the show, and they were like, man, that Sideshow O'Malley is a fucking hoot. A hootin' and a hollerin' type of guy. I mean, that's just what he does. And he was kind of the life of the party, I'm going to be honest. Like I said, he's starting to really overshadow us, and it's starting to fucking piss me off. But, sorry, I got a little angry there. But, Sideshow, you're killing it, buddy. I really appreciate it. Hey, everybody, follow Sideshow O'Malley at Sideshow_O_ Malley at Instagram. It's right there. Follow him, and he's just full of fucking wonder, and but he's also literally like staring at me like, do it, tell him, and it's like, dude, you literally tell me to tell everybody all the time, always, and you're never not enthusiastic about it, and it's starting to also piss me off. But Sideshow, I love you, buddy, and we had a good time on the road, and he was plumb tuckered as well, but he got to sleep in the back of the van. Like, he got to sleep the whole time, so he's not fucking. He was just having a fucking good time. He didn't have to do any real work. He just made friends and slept the whole time. That fucker. But after that, we went on to our last stop, which was Huntsville, Alabama, at the Copper Top, where we played with a band called Mineshaft. Which Mineshaft is the band that alluded to Alabama Music Box being kind of sketchy. So I just outed you guys for saying they're sketchy, but it's okay. You guys are honest people, and I really enjoy it, and I feel like I should pass on the honesty. But Mineshaft were fucking dope. The fucking, who was it? Joel, lead singer, guitar player. Then we had Phil on the bass, which he was doing some fucking Toys Were Winding Down shit on the bass that I was like, you're fucking, like, great bass player, great bass. And they were all good, but I was just staring at him playing bass the whole time because he was like eerie with it. He was just like doing some weird shit, and it was really cool. And his like finger technique he had a lot of finesse with it. It was very cool. And then Charles, who and I have to say before I forget, we were supposed to bring our own sound to that show, and we did, but they were gracious enough to bring a subs and everything, and they set up their sound instead to make just to kind of pull the whole night together. And so I really appreciate that, guys, for real. It was just very nice of you. And a huge shout out to Ben and Bradley. Bradley bought a shirt online, which I was like, man, I'm pretty sure all these people that were supposed to buy shirts online, I was like, surely nobody's actually going to do it. Sold a shirt online the other day, which was fucking dope. So go to phantomsam.com for all your merch needs, and keep up to date with Art of the Jam episodes and whatnot like that, and keep up to date with our tour schedules and show schedules and whatnot like that. So phantomsam.com. Yeah, so Mineshaft. Shout out to Steph, who literally took advantage of my short wit. I was very raw in the mind at that time. That last show was like, I was on fumes. And I had to muster up every little ounce I had left. So this Steph was just preying on me. She was the waitress, or the bartender and waitress, whatever the fuck you call it nowadays. And she was very much like, how do you say, like, you couldn't get a good read on her. She was just like one of those that was like so full of shit and busting your balls constantly that I'm like, I don't know if you're genuinely a bitch or if you're just joking with me. She was just joking. She's not genuinely a bitch. She was very nice, and we had a good time. It was just, she was one of those people that just like incessantly, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, she was just busting your balls, and it's like, I don't know if I should genuinely be like sad or like my feelings be hurt or not. But huge shout out to Steph and the two door guys. Yeah, but I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, after that I just had to do like an 8-hour drive home, mindless. It's kind of crazy because before we cut it here, the fucking we go from 75-degree Florida weather, and when we get to Missouri, it's just a squall warning, which I never knew what a squall was, but here's a squall. It's like that. You hear that wind whistling, all that fucking snow going. It's like low visibility. That's what a squall is, apparently. A squall. That should be the word of the week. But anyways, never mind. But we get here and it's like fucking 30 degrees, and it's just raining, and then the rain turns into snow, and the snow turns into a snow squall, and then there's just snow on the ground for 3 days, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? And now, today, as of right now that we're filming this, it is 75 degrees outside, or 70 degrees. That's enough, all right? We're calling it, all right? Guys, that is it for episode number 128.2. Our tour recap episode. And guys, don't forget, before we log off here, beep boop beep, Phantom Sam is brought to you by our word of the week, Contrarian. And I hope you in the comments let us know what the worst city you've ever been through and why is. I hope you catch us on our next tour in June, and I hope in between catch us at shows after that. Guys, I was going to say, oh yeah, don't forget to submit your uncles for analysis. We're going to tell you if they are creepy or cool. I haven't yet to receive any of them, but that episode I don't even think that has come out yet. Yeah. But usually whenever I cut the little shorts out and I put them on social media, that does a little better. It kind of pushes those little segments and stuff a little further. So submit your uncles for analysis, and we will decide if they are creepy or cool. And don't forget to find that phantom. So in the comments, if you find the phantom somewhere in this episode, if it's in the little nook, it's in the little back, it's behind here, it comes out of here, it comes out of there, it's going to be behind this thing, it's going to be somewhere. It could be in the static, it could be in the jam, it could be in the cartoon, it could be literally swirling around Sideshow O'Malley's little dance to the mouth trumpet stylings of yours truly. And it could be anything like that. It could be anywhere. So you comment the timestamp exactly, and if it's correct, you will be pinned to the top, and you will have a chance to win some Art of the Jam merch, maybe even exclusive Art of the Jam coffee mug or something of that nature. But guys, the mantra for the show: we are going to live with cause, and we're going to leave results to the great law of the universe. We're going to pass each and every day in peaceful contemplation, patient, and all the while remaining present in our lives. So after this episode, go outside. It's nice and warm right now. Touch some grass, kiss some trees, love your wife, lick your dog, touch some grass, pet your wife. I already said all of these things, but you know what? I do not give a single fucking shit. So, Space Camp,
Stay funky, y'all.
all right, and we are going to play you off with a fun little tune. I don't even know what we've talked about today other than, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What did we talk about today? 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 We got these hot takes. We got these hot takes. What did we talk about today? What did we talk about today? Hot takes. We got hot takes. Hot takes. That's the only thing I remember about today. At Art of the Jam. At Art of the Jam. At Art of the Jam. We went on tour from Tulsa to Kansas, and then we went to Texas and we broke the fuck down. I made some fucking sweet potato rice noodle at a truck stop. I said at a rest stop, and then I forgot to mention that I pissed in my own water bottle in traffic. Yeah, in traffic. Because the traffic was standstill.
It's the Spice Girls.
Still a mile until the next rest stop, and my bladder would not stop having to piss. Yeah, having to piss. Yeah, my bladder was about to burst. My bladder was about to burst, but I took out my water bottle and my bladder burst inside of it. And I washed it out with some Dawn dish soap in a truck stop sink. I washed it out with Dawn dish soap in a truck stop sink. I washed my water bottle out in a Dawn dish soap in a truck stop bathroom. We got yelled at by a guy. Hey buddy, are you fucking done? I said, yeah, I'm done, but I'm putting my receipt back in the envelope. But he said, fuck you. We're all trying to get some fuel. He said, fuck you. We're all trying to get some fuel. At Art of the Jam, now we're back home, and we're at Art of the Jam, and we're back home, and it's Art of the Jam, and it's back home, and we're at Art of the Jam, and we're back home, and it's Art of the Jam, and we're back home, and it's Art of the Jam, and we're back home, and it's Art of the Jam, and we're back home, and it's Art of the Jam, and we're back home. Yeah, what bands did we play with? Yeah, we got, Pitch a Fit, Mr. Never and the Scars, Mr. Never and the Scars, and it's fucking Kona Skate Park. We got Pitch a Fit and Mr. Never and the Scars at Kona Skate Park, at the oldest skate park. Yeah, Bam Margera skated there once, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was there once, and I felt like I was in a video game, and I'm getting a little off rhythm here, but I don't care, 'cause it's Art of the Jam, and we're back home, and it's Art of the Jam, and we're back home, and it's Art of the Jam, and we're back home, and it's Art of the Jam, and we're back home, and it's Art of the Jam. Thank you guys.